morning students, this is Dabduda Diwal. I will be taking class 10 maths as we have discussed earlier. So I will be showing you some example, and we are going to stick with the book, NCERT book, mathematics, pair of linear equation in two variable, exercise 1.1, question number 1. We will be discussing question number 1. So let's see about question number 1. So it goes like this. After tells his daughter, 7 years ago, I was 7 times as old as you were then. Also 3 years from now, I shall be 3 times as old as you will be. Represent this situation graphically and algebraically. So in this context or this question, you have to see what are the variables you are going to choose. So there are two literal nouns are there. One is Aftab and his daughter. And they are saying that 7 years ago, that means before 7 years, I was 7 times as old as you were then. And 3 years from now, I shall be 3 times as old as you will be. So let's see what the question says. Let's say your current age is 16. And say my current age is say 28. So 16 and 28, these are our current age, yours and mine. So 7 years ago, let's see, 7 years ago I was 21, and 7 years ago you were 9 years old, correct? So if you go in the past, that means you are subtracting the value of your age from your current age. And let's see, say 3 years after. So you are 16, so let's say class 10. So after 3 years you will be in college. So you will be like 21. And after 3 years I will be 31. So if you go in the future, it is going to be an addition. If you go in the past, that is going to be your subtraction from your current age. So let's see it more clearly. So we have two nouns or two components we are going to assume as variable. Let's say Aftab and his daughter. If I just let them be X and Y, then I will not get the proper answer. Now why? Because I am not assuming the variable correctly. I have to say the present age of Aftab is X. You have to assume the variable in a certain way that you get always a correct answer. If you cannot choose the variable correctly, then you will not end up with the correct answer. So you have to write let the present age of Aftab be X, and same let the present age of his daughter be Y. So we know what is our X and what is our Y, and we will proceed according to our variables. So we know what is our X, what is our Y. So this is our daughter's age, and this is Aftab. So 7 years ago, so suppose this is say 20. So 7 years ago he was like 13 years old. So if I have Aftab current age as X, so 7 years ago he will be x minus 7. and his daughter will be y minus 7. So we know what was their age 7 years ago. Now we will see according to the questions. So 7 years ago I was 7 times as old as you were then. That means Aftab and his daughter, these two variables we have. 7 years ago this fellow was 7 times as old as this his daughter. So suppose, in a way, if I explain, if you have 2 and 14, so this is big number, na? So you have to multiply something here to make it equal. So say this is the father fellow and this is the daughter ones. So if I say he was 7 years ago, he was big, that means we have to multiply something in this side. So Aftab 7 years ago, 7 years ago, Aftab was x minus 7 and his daughter was y minus 7, and he was 7 times as old as she was. So you have to multiply 7 this side, because we have put equal signs, and since she was 7 times old, this fellow was 7 times old than her, we have to multiply 7 in that side to put it equal. Now we shall proceed how to represent this thing in graphically and algebraically. This is algebraic form only, but you have to deduce it in a correct form. So we have x minus 7, this side you have 7y and 49. Now you will take the variable one side, and you can, it's up to you, you can take the whole thing one side and put 0 in the other side. So x minus 7 minus 7y plus 49 equal to 0. So I brought all the things from this side to this side. So this is a variable and this is another variable. So we cannot do anything, we cannot subtract them, so we will keep as such. So x minus 7y. But what we can do is we can subtract here. So this is plus, this is minus, this and this. Both are numbers, you can subtract numbers. So 9, 7, it's 2. 42 plus. So this is the equation, and I have shown question number 1 algebraically. The graphical section we will be dealing with how to do graph with this. So let's say, as we have did earlier the graphs, we will do the same. You will put a x and a y. So first you will assume any value for x and for y. It's totally up to you what you assume, but it should not be in a fraction form. That is going to make the things more difficult. So let's see. If you have this, and if I take this one side, so I will end up with something like this. X plus 42 equal to 7y. Again, if I have x plus 42 by 7 equal to y. So this is the correct form how you are going to solve for the graph. So now you have to assume any value for x, then you will get the value of y. These are called dependent variables. That means if you put the value of one, you will get the another variable, the value of another variable. So x, let's say 0. So you have to solve, but it is like quite easy to solve. So 0 plus 42 by 7 equal to y. So we will end up with 42 by 7 equal to y. So this is our 6. Next, again we are going to assume some value. That is totally up to you. You can choose this value or that value. So let's assume all the multiple of 7. That's way we cannot get any fraction number, and that is going to be easy for us to put the things in graph. So let's say again we took 7. So x 7 plus 42 by 7. So it's our y. 42 plus 7 is 49. So that is 7. Another variable is that we'll take x. In exam you have to choose at least 5 variables, the 5 values of the variables to at least get a proper graph. So let's say x equal to, we choose now 14. So 14 plus 42 by 7, that is our y. So it's 6 5. Eight. Now we got the value and we can deduce it in the graph. So we got the value 6, 0 and 6, 7 and 7, 14 and 8. So we got these values 0, 6, 7, 7, 14, 8. These are our values for the first one. Now there is the second question inside the first question, that is 3 years from now I shall be 3 times as old as you will be. So if his current age is x and his daughter current age is y, after 3 years he will be x plus 3 and her daughter will be y plus 3. He says I shall be 3 times as you will be. So now again we will deduce this, and we need these values for 2 graphs. So x plus 3 equal to 3y plus 9. So again we will take it one side, x plus 3 minus 3y minus 9 equal to 0. So it's our minus 2y minus 6 equal to 0. X obviously. So this is our value, and we will solve again for this. So we got x minus 2y minus 6 equal to 0. So if I put it another side, I will end up with something like this: x equal to 2y plus 6. If I draw the values x, y. Now you can choose either x or y. I will choose here y because it is going to give me a simple x value x. So if I choose y equal to 0, so 0 into 2, 0 plus 6, so I'll get 6. Next, if I say I will take the value y 1, so 1 into 2 is 1, so 1, 2 plus 8. If I take y 2, 2 2s are 4 plus 6, that is our 10. If I choose y equal to 3, 6 plus 6, 12. So this is the value. So as we took 3 values in the previous equation, we will take 3 values here also. So this is our equation. And this is the variable algebraic form for the second equation of the first equation. So we have again 0, 6, 8, 1, 10 and 2. Now we are going to draw the graphs. So if I have a graph, x, x dash, y, y dash. You have to see carefully, this was our x, so x was after age, so this is our after age. You don't have to write it, but still we need the values. This is daughter's age. So now if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to put the values. This is 0. So 0 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here. Then 7, 7. So I'll go 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I will go up 7. Since it is a positive number, I have to go up. So it is nearly here. 7, 7. Then 8 and 14. This is our 8 and 14 will lie somewhere here. So graph will be like this. The second graph, you have to draw it by yourself and tell me where the problem lies so we can discuss it further. So for today, that is enough. Thank you all.